Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never wanna let you go. 'Cause you started something, don't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. It happens to be true. I only wanna be with you.
Hello, I'm Phil Catchpole and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues. On the show this week we have all the action and reaction from the game at the Memorial Stadium against Bristol Rovers, plus Gary Williams joins us for Till Death Us Do Part, all the way from a man in Jordan. But first, let's head to Mexico City for the full League One results with Uri.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. It's me, Uri, and here are the results for League One. Birmingham City 3, Peterborough United 2, Blackpool 3, Burton Albion 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Cambridge United 0, Lincoln City 2, Leyton Orient 0, Wrexham 0, Northampton Town 0, Mansfield Town 2, Shrewsbury Town 1, Rotherham United 1, Stevenage 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Wigan Athletic 0, Exeter City 0. So Joe Lowe's header was scored deep into injury time, right in front of the traveling Wycombe fans. So Chairboys Spanish this week, injury time winners. Okay, so this is a very cultural thing because in Spanish we don't say injury time. We say reposition time or compensation time because time is not only spent or lost while there is an injury. Time can be spent when there is a kickoff, when there is a throw-in, arguing with the referee, or when there is a substitution, or whenever you want, you can lose some time and win advantage with the clock. So, well, in Spanish we say tiempo de reposición or tiempo de compensación, as in compensation time. And how do we say winner? Well, you should know that by now. Winner, ganadores. Or winners, ganadores. So injury time winners, ganadores en tiempo de reposición. That's it for this week. And we keep the Kabbalah of the number 2 with Wycombe Wanderers scoring 2 goals in each game. Back to England with my amigo Filiberto Cachapollos. Adios!
Cheers Uri, magnificent as ever. Right then, Wycombe Wanderers headed down the M4 to visit our old friends, Bristol Rovers. Here's what happened at the Memorial Stadium. Matt Cecil joined us on commentary.
Not a lot of atmosphere around the Memorial Stadium. You'd think Bristol Rovers would be trying to lift the fans and the fans lift the team accordingly.
Here's Sinclair, edge of the area, scores! It's come from a poor clearance from Franco Ravazzoli. Rovers were able to get the ball down the middle again. Sinclair cut it onto his right foot. Ravazzoli was advancing, but it was a cool finish from the ex-Premier League player. And the first mistake in the game has led to the first goal. It's Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0.
Yeah, real shame just talking about the lack of atmosphere in the place, and it's a gift really of an opportunity because the kick's right down the middle of the pitch. Wycombe are wide open as it's headed back towards the penalty area, and Scott Sinclair, with all his experience, isn't going to pass up that opportunity. Comfortably side-footed home past Franco, and Wycombe just coming unnecessarily unstuck there because we're in control of the game in terms of the balance of play without having threatened at the other end. But a real disappointing goal to give away, and that will give the home side a boost and something to sing about after the poor run of form that they've been on. They've now got a lead to hold on to.
Scowen goes back to Lowe, and now Caleb Taylor, who's had a good game today, in the centre circle with Wycombe on the ball now with Lowe once more. Back to Taylor. Labala. Morley. Oh, that's a great pass to Harvey. Harvey, edge of the area, goes for goal and scores! What a goal by Dan Harvey. And how about that for a peach of a pass from Aaron Morley? Harvey still had lots to do though, cut it in onto his right foot, and it's his first goal for the Chairboys. There was a player back on the line, he may have got in the way of the keeper. Either way, neither of them could keep it out, and it's Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe 1.
Well, what a ball from Aaron Morley. That is, we could see it up here, but how you see that at pitch level, I do not know. Superb late run from Dan Harvey to collect it. Probably would have loved to have drilled it first time on his left foot, but he realised that was going to be the harder chance. Jinks back onto his right. A superb curling effort. Game on.
Great pass by Morley. Harvey cut it in, sent his marker to the shops, and then curled it in right-footed. Some finish on, well, does he have a weaker foot? It appears not.
Because we're so dangerous down the left with Harvey and Onyedinma.
Oh, Rapazzoli with an inch-perfect pass to McCleary on the right wing. He takes it in his stride. Here's Scowen, no angle! Oh, what a save! What a save! Griffiths gets up and punches the air. And Josh Scowen looks at the sky. What a ball from Franco Rapazzoli. Gareth McCleary turns and applauds it. The control from McCleary was top drawer. The pass was as well. Scowen did everything right, but the keeper, full credit to him. What a chance. It's a corner to Wycombe Wanderers, their third of the afternoon. And a few Rovers fans have seen enough and are heading for the exit. Into Gareth McCleary. Now, Labala. Back to goal, back to McCleary on the tip of the centre circle, uses Scowen. Harvey's providing the width. They use Harvey. Shaq Ford stops the cross, but it's a corner to Wycombe. Their fourth of the afternoon.
Lovely
Morley comes to
again.
take.
Really nice build-up play again. Patient from Wycombe. Not just lumping it in the box, trying to find a late winner.
Morley to take it as a right-footed in-swinger. It's a good delivery. Keeper comes and doesn't get there. Yes! Joe Lowe's done it again. 2 years in a row. This time it's at the other end, and there's no shushing this time. It's fist punching and pumping of the chest in front of the Wycombe fans. Bristol Rovers 1. Wycombe Wanderers 2. It's a pig if you're a Rovers fan.
It's an absolute pig. The Bristol City boy through their academy, scored here last season, and surely has won it for us this season. Another 2-1 scoreline, 2 more goals in a game for the Chairboys. Joe Lowe, do you know what? Just as the corner came in, they were wrestling the shirt off his back. I saw it coming all the way. I was hoping if we hadn't scored we might have had a penalty for it, but he's just too strong. A bullet header from a yard out. There's a yellow card in there for someone, maybe Beverly Labala. Who cares, frankly? Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe 2. And Joe Lowe is the Wycombe hero again.
We didn't give them a huge amount to cheer first half, but second half we gave them a few moments that they enjoyed. Dan Harvey's goal was obviously an excellent goal. So there were some really nice moments, and for Joey to enjoy that with our supporters down the corner, it was just brilliant.
Going back to the Dan Harvey goal, the pass from Aaron Morley, we were high up in the stand, we had a lovely view of it. What a pass.
Yeah, he's some player, as I like. You know, I've said this a couple of times on record. You know, over the years, I've watched him and always admired him from afar at Rochdale when he was young, and then I thought it was an excellent signing for Bolton that when they got him for such a cheap price, as soon as I knew he was available, it was one we wanted to do. He's some player, and you know, when he passed it like that, he's really key to the way we're trying to play.
Bristol Rovers, they seemed to sit back in the second half, or was that more they were forced back by Wycombe? What was it?
I think we imposed ourselves on the game, if I'm honest, mate. We didn't do that first half, and we gave them too many opportunities to break on us because just a loose pass or just a touch. I think, you know, I've been here before, you know, after a really big night in the Cup during the week, and the amount of emotional and physical energy, you know, hence why all the changes Tuesday night, hence why all the changes today. It just looked like we were just half a yard short in those moments. But second half, I just thought we controlled the game with the football and, you know, forced them back. You know, we wanted to build momentum, and the way we locked the game out and had recycled attacks was really important. So, it just felt like it was coming.
Lots of attacking options, but nice for the defenders to come up with the goals today.
Yeah, Tomo said before the game, we haven't had enough set piece goals. You know, we've been fortunate to score, you know, some goals this season, but not enough set piece goals. So to get the winner today from a set piece, Tomo will be extremely happy with that.
I understand Man City scored just the once today, which means Wycombe are the only team left in the top 4 divisions who've got 2 goals a minimum per game.
we left it late, didn't we? But yeah, look, you know, we're not trying to be overly clever. We're just trying to play the way we believe. I mean, Tom and I do a huge amount of work with Sandog in terms of the tactical elements of it, and we're trying to build a way of playing that reflects us. And you know, the longer that can go on, the better. But we've got a really tough game at Barnsley on Tuesday night, and we're going to have to be absolutely at it. We can't have a first half like we had today. We've got to make sure we're ready to go there and run and fight, because Darrell's done a great job. They're a very good big club in our division, and it's going to be a tough game.
When you've got 2 away days back to back like this with a long journey, a last minute winner must help propel you up the motorway, surely.
Yeah, I think the noise levels on the coach on the way up the motorway on Monday will be noisy because of it. I think the lads, you can see how much they're enjoying their football at the minute. But yeah, one step at a time, mate, and it's certainly a very, very good day for us today.
And plenty to think about as well going into Tuesday with the squad options.
Yeah, I think it's really important. We got to remember that, you know, Fred's not had done a pre-season, so we have to be careful with him. Bez is, you know, missed a lot of football just at the end of last season and in this season, so we've got to be careful with him. Rich is still a young lad and he can't 90. He's going to be, you know, careful with him. G-Mac's in incredible form, so we're able to get some good minutes out of him, but we've got to respect him. So especially in those forward areas, we're still having to piece that puzzle together and make sure that we're trying to keep everyone fit, because, you know, I've said it before, when we're good, we've got pace and energy at the top of the pitch. I thought Wills was very good today, obviously coming off the back of Tuesday night and getting himself ready to go again after not playing as much football recently. So brilliant for Dave to do that. So yeah, it's just really important for us to keep that energy. And
David Wheeler's 200th Wycombe appearance today.
Oh, I didn't know that. Brilliant, lovely stat for him. You know, Dave's been a really key piece of the jigsaw over the last 200 appearances for him in the last few years, the promotion in 2020, and you know, he's done great for us, so I'm really, really pleased for him. That's a big milestone, and congratulations to him today.
Well, enjoy the win, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Top man. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Stuff, thank you. Boys, the goal scorers. Well, the forwards have been getting a lot of goals this season, and the defence has stepped up today.
Yeah, I think it's about time we stepped up. You know, we've been leaving it to the forwards, and you know, we've been scoring 2 goals every game, so I thought it was my chance to step up and get the second today.
A year on, it's nice to celebrate with the Wycombe fans this time at the Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, didn't get booked this time, so that's always a positive, and yeah, in front of the fans, they were brilliant today, so no, I really enjoyed that moment.
And Dan, great first goal for the club as well. Some strike.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of stick in the changing room for my right foot, but yeah, listen, I'm glad it went in. I think we needed the goal at that point, so listen, it kind of spurred us on to go and get the second one, and Big Joe steps up and gives us it. Great
pass to Mara Morley to find you. There was still a lot of work to do though when he got the ball.
Yeah, listen, it's you know, something we spoke about at half time, getting in the midfield and switching play and finding full-backs. So yeah, listen, I'm just glad it went in.
And I'm guessing you won't be getting any more stick about your right foot now after that one.
Nah, surely not. Can't now. No.
Joe, the last minute goal, the injury time goal, I think the ref has said that it would have been a penalty had it not been a goal, because they were trying to foul you as well, but you forced your way through.
Yeah, just forced my way through, to be honest. I can't remember too much from it. I think my adrenaline took over in the moment, but yeah, just ran through the bodies, and luckily it landed as put a great ball in. It's just landing right on my head, right in front of the goal. And
the perfect tonic ahead of another long away day on Tuesday night. That's going to make the miles just melt away, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, you said it. We're just looking forward to the next one now and go there and try and get a result.
And I know you two are defenders, but Man City only scored once today, which means Wycombe are the only club left now with a minimum of 2 goals a game in the league. That's some record.
Yes, keep it going. Keep scoring more goals. Yeah, I think for us there's things we can work on as well in terms of, you know, some of the goals we conceded this year. But listen, we know we've got a threat in the top of the pitch. We can score goals at any point. So for us, you know, it's taking pride in defending and getting clean sheets.
The gaffer said he wasn't happy at half time, but it must be great when you can turn things around like we did, turn over the 1-0 deficit and play well second half.
Yeah, I think we started a bit slow. It took us maybe 30 odd minutes to kind of get the ball down and start getting good players in good areas. But we knew that at half time. You know, the players knew it, the gaffer, the staff knew it. So it was just a reaction second half, you know, and go and do what we do, and luckily we did that and we won.
And Joe, finally, the record continues. That's another goal and another 3 points against one of your dad's former teams.
I know, yeah, well, we keep saying it. I know, the lads don't know, I don't want to tell them in case I jinx it, but I think everyone gives an extra couple of percent when they know it's my dad's old team. Too many.
He didn't play for Barnsley, did he?
Unfortunately not, no.
Well, enjoy tonight and we'll see you Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Great to hear from the gaffer and also the goal scorers, Dan Harvey and Joe Lowe. Tremendous stuff. Right then, the opposition view. I'd imagine it was an absolute pig if you're a Rovers fan. Let's find out what the Gas fans thought. Richard W.
It's only heartbreaking if 1, it's unexpected, or 2, it's undeserved. This was neither. We were awful today. We showed zero adventure, zero appetite to attack, zero quality on the ball, and zero tactical understanding of whatever the manager's tactics were supposed to be. And I'm still struggling to understand what on earth we were trying to do. Enough is enough.
Bubble.
I thought Rovers were supposed to be playing on the front foot. But, oh no, we go 4-4-1-1. Take off the shackles and attack, for goodness sake. With our defence, it's the only way.
Gasify.
First half, we were good for our lead. Second half, we sat back in a what we have, we keep kind of way. It was all going to plan until the substitutions.
Basil SWH.
Wycombe were better than us and deserved to win. We have no strategy, no plan. We just make it up as we go along, but with little imagination. We have no discernible style of play. OK, Scott Sinclair had a good game, but I can't see us going anywhere with Matt Taylor and co in charge. And I think the sooner they're gone, the better. Also, we need a bit of luck.
Pop-up Pirates.
We looked slow all over the pitch. And Wycombe looked by far the better team. Always able to find their forwards with much better quality crossing. I'm usually a patient man, but it's running out, unfortunately.
Old Market 65.
Wycombe had 11 players injured and 5 strikers out of action. They also played midweek, and yet they still controlled the game. We had 36% possession at home.
JNN.
Get Taylor gone tonight. We played the whole of the second half in our own half of the pitch. At home. I'm done. I won't be attending again until he's finally gone.
Island Gas.
I thought a draw would have been fair enough on the balance of play across the entire 90 minutes. Griffiths was clearly fouled for their second goal, and it should have been disallowed. Our performance was better than the previous 3 games, but we are still very average.
Ian F.
Oh dear, I really wanted things to go well for Matt. He's a decent man and doing his best. Unfortunately, we are poor. Even worse, we have a large number of bad players with very long contracts. The owners put up the cash, but we bought rubbish with it. Relegation inbound?
Paul Davis.
That was nothing new to us. We always lose to High Wycombe.
Supporting a football club is like a marriage. Your club is there for life through the good times and the bad. We ask Chairboys fans for their most cherished old memory, their current favourite player, the best borrowed player we've ever had, and for something blue, we talk club merchandise. Joining us this week is Wycombe Wanderers fan Gary Williams, and you can probably tell by the bright sunshine in the background that he's not in the UK in this time of year. He's in Amman in Jordan. Gary, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hey, Phil. Thanks very much for letting me come on, and really looking forward to having a chat with you. Yeah, it's lovely. As you said, bright sunshine here, so it's beautiful.
Absolutely. It's raining here in London, so I'm already jealous about that. We speak the day after the Aston Villa game, a wonderful night for the club. And last night, Keith Ryan was at the game, Wycombe Wanderers legend, and we were talking about kits. And I was telling him about my first ever Wycombe Wanderers kit, and you're wearing it. The FA Trophy final, Wembley 1993. Not the my version of it. The Verco fell off mine a long time ago, but the gold stitching around it, and that's a wonderful piece of kit that you got there.
That's the one. It's one of my favorite kits as well. Not just for the event, but just the style of it and everything. Because it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's got a very sort of slightly inlaid swan and badge on the light blue.
Very beautiful. So when did your story with Wycombe Wanderers start?
Oh goodness. I was thinking back. It was definitely 1977. I went to my first Wycombe. Well, in fact, I went to my very first football match, which was QPR versus Nottingham Forest, I should say.
Yeah.
And it was for my birthday in October 1977. That was the year or the season that Forest won the first division. And it was, I think, about 2 weeks after that, my dad took me down to my first Wycombe game, which was at Lokes Park. Now, this is where my memory starts to get a little bit fuzzy. I always thought that it was Leatherhead and we beat them 2-0. I don't know why, but then I was looking up on the excellent Chairboys on the net to see if that was the case. And we'd already played Leatherhead by that point in the season. So I think it was Leytonstone and we beat them 1-0 in early November 1977.
And how old would you have been then?
Then I'd just had my 12th birthday.
Fantastic. I remember my first game at Lokes Park was a little bit later, but the sensations of being at Lokes Park, the smells and walking up through the town, the smells of the chocolate factory, weirdly, the sights of the cooling towers of the gas works. It seemed as a young boy absolutely magical.
It was brilliant. And do you know what? And I'm going back to sort of when I were a lad. I remember I used to leave home with 50p in my pocket. I lived in Great Kingshill. I had 50p in my pocket. My return bus fare was 12p. It cost me 25p to get into the ground. I had 5p for a programme and 5p for a cup of tea. And I still had, I think, work it out, 3p left in my pocket at the end of it.
Those were the days, eh?
Oh, absolutely, weren't they just, yeah.
Well, it was Lokes Park was a wonderful place, and I've always felt very fortunate to just about catch the end of the Lokes Park era before we moved to Adams Park. And I'm
sure you've heard it before, but the famous thing about Lokes Park was obviously the fact that you could change end to whichever end Wycombe were kicking into. And it was always a decision if you started off down the gasworks end and they decided to kick towards the hospital end, am I going to run behind the main stand and sort of get there just in time for the kickoff, or I take a more leisurely walk through the crowds in the cowshed?
These decisions, which have now been taken away from us in the more structured world.
Sadly, yes, in many respects. But
it's called progress, and let's progress on to the questions. We'll start off with something old, and I'd imagine you have a huge bank here to choose from. Your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory?
Can I have a few?
Well, we can go through the highlights definitely, but I would ask you to select just one.
I'll run through the few really quickly. Okay, so obviously I've got quite a lot of history. I would say that one of my favourite memories was the away game at Slough in the season we won promotion to the Football League.
The away game, that's unusual. Most people go for the home game, but the away game, that's good.
Well, for some reason, again, I think it was the away game at Slough and I think we won it. And that more or less confirmed our promotion.
Pretty much, yeah.
All but mathematically or something is what I had in mind. Then I've got another two, and they were not the FA Trophy finals, but the semi-final second legs.
Yeah. For
both seasons, so 91 and 93. And we played at home both of the first legs. So 91 was against Altrincham, and we just scraped a 2-1 win at home. And we went away, so it was all to play for. And I was at that game, and we beat them 2-0. And it was just that sheer elation of we've got to Wembley. It was fantastic. Being on the pitch at the end of the game was just brilliant.
And Altrincham back then were weirdly sort of a bit of a bogey, and the favourites in that as well. And we've often spoken about this game being the dawn of that golden generation.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As I said, it sort of began that whole run of so many appearances at Wembley.
And Dave Carroll and Steve Guppy will conspire to try and give Wycombe the sort of goal chance which brought goals for Kerr and Creaser 2 rounds ago in the trophy against Cheltenham. They won that tie 2-1, and 2-1 is how they lead overall in this tie. And there, on the far post, is Mark West. And Mark West is the man who claims the goal. With 19 minutes of the second half gone, it was Dave Carroll's corner. I think it got a flick on the near post from Glyn Creaser, and at the back post, stealing in, was Mark West to touch the ball in, almost unmarked, to put Wycombe 1-0 ahead today and 3-1 ahead on aggregate. Altrincham have it all to do. And now Simon Hutchinson in the area. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to Wycombe in injury time. Simon Hutchinson, the man sprinting towards the Altrincham area. And if that doesn't seal it, I don't know what will. Keith Scott's picked the ball up. Andy Robinson goes to have words, but with regular penalty taker Mark West off the field, I think it's Scott who will take it. So in injury time, Hutchinson was released by Scott, sprinting into the area, brought down. It's Keith Scott with a penalty that could send Wycombe on their way to Wembley. We're already in injury time, and it's 2-0. Wycombe are at Wembley for only the second time in their history. That 1957 occasion against Bishop's Auckland can be forgotten now, because Wycombe 1991 are going back there themselves.
And again, if memory serves me right, there was always a guy there who's not a particularly pleasant piece of work, McKenna.
Yes.
Didn't he get sent off in that game?
And the referee is being called over to the flag, to the linesman, who wants words, something we didn't see. Let's see if we can hear this. And there are claims on the far side that Creaser and McKenna might have been clashing, not for the first time this afternoon, and there could be trouble here. Let's see who he runs to. And it's Ken McKenna, number 10. You get the feeling he could be in trouble here. McKenna had words all last week against decisions, but this week, as Altrincham looked to be bowing out of the FA Trophy, he's finally going into the notebook of Mr. West. With 3 minutes remaining, what will the decision be? What will the colour of the card for McKenna be? Obviously an off-the-ball incident, which I missed. And it's red. Off goes McKenna, and with him, off go Altringham's hopes of the FA Trophy and GM Vauxhall Conference double. McKenna, for an off-the-ball incident, is sent off in dramatic fashion in the last moments.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he got sent off in that second leg, and I just remember going absolutely wild in the stand for that one. And then 2 years later, the semi-final against Sutton, and we'd lost 3-2 at home, which was against all odds.
Yeah.
So the away leg at Gander Green Lane, and Wycombe fans absolutely packed it out. And to come away from there 4-0, knowing we got to Wembley again on the back of already having secured promotion to the Football League was just wonderful. So it's weird. Maybe not the final so much, and certainly the Kidderminster final was brilliant, and it was a great occasion. I think that helped by the fact that the fans were fairly equally spread between Kidderminster and Wycombe. 2 years later at Runcorn, it was very much all Wycombe.
Yeah.
And then two other ones very quickly. My son's first game, and this was Scunthorpe at home.
Wow.
And I don't know if you remember this one, Phil. We went 2-0 down within about 10 minutes.
Yes.
And we got a goal back. I think it was Domgate just before half-time. Then Fred equalised in the second half. Then Ryan Alsop got sent off. and Craig McHale-Smith just won it with a breakaway goal in like about, I don't know, second or third minute of injury time. And I remember Sammy coming away from that game and turning around to me and saying, "When can I come again?" And we were playing the following Tuesday at home, so we came to that one as well, and that was it. His love affair with Wycombe started then.
That must be wonderful. My son's only 4, and I can't wait to bring him to a game. It's going to be a few years yet because I want him to be old enough to really take it in. But what was that like seeing because obviously you described your first game at Lokes Park and feeling the magic. What was it like almost witnessing it from outside and inwards and looking at your son's face? How was that?
Well, that was wonderful, as a father. I mean, that sort of just brought back memories. I mean, I should have said that I attended my first game at Lokes Park with my dad.
Yes.
He took me. Sammy now is fifth generation in the Williams family supporting Wycombe.
Fantastic.
So whether my dad had that feeling watching me when I first attended Wycombe at Lokes Park, I don't know, but it was just brilliant. But just to know that he'd got the bug.
Yeah.
And that was it. So, obviously we don't get to see too many games, but whenever we're over in the UK during the season, we'll always try and see a game. And then just one final memory.
Yeah.
Was my wife's first game. And
excellent.
That was the Sunderland home 3-3 draw.
Wow.
I mean, just a brilliant game to be at. And we were just going crazy when JJ scored that last minute equaliser, and likewise she sort of got the bug. So when it came to Wycombe playing at Wembley last season in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy final, we'd already got plans for Easter, and I turned around to her and I said, "Well, you never know, Wycombe at Wembley, it might never happen again in our lifetime," knowing full well we're there probably every 2 or 3 years for it. And she immediately said, "Yeah, we've got to do it. We've got to do it." So I think so. Seeing the family buying into it and loving Wycombe is great memories for me.
I'm interested in the mechanics of someone's first game being a 3-3 thriller, and then how do you then approach the post-match discussion? Because it's like you can say it's not like that every week, really, or do you just say, "Oh yeah, this is what it's like. This is it."
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, that one, isn't it? I mean, you have to sort of say that it's not like that every week, but we quite often have exciting moments at this club. So
indeed we do. Right, let's go on to the modern day. Something new. This is your favourite player within the current squad. This is always another tough question.
Yeah, for me that's an easy one. I'm going to go Josh Scowen. I mean,
yes.
just the 100% that he gives week in, week out. He's got an engine like nobody else I've probably seen playing for Wycombe. To me, that's a no-brainer. Actually, the easiest question of the lot.
And it's really nice to talk about Josh this morning after he's just made his 500th career appearance last night against Aston Villa in what I would call a very typical Josh Scowen display against Ross Barkley, who's a full international, Amadou Unana, established Premier League player, and Josh Scowen looked completely at home, sort of running those two around last night.
He did, but didn't all the team. Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, Declan Scorer. I mean, he had top class international player absolutely in his pocket last night. Alex Hartridge. Who's the Bailey kept him completely quiet. I think throughout the team last night that everybody outperformed their opponents in many cases. But no, Josh, just because last night was not unusual for him. It's what he does every week.
Yeah.
No.
And it was great to talk to him last week. I love Josh to pieces because he's quite a quiet guy. He just gets on with his business without any fuss, and he knows he has to do press at least once or twice a season. And it was last week, and he came in and had a chat with us. And it's lovely when he does open up because he's a very witty guy actually underneath it all. But we spoke to him about his journey because Wycombe are now starting the academy again. But Josh came through the academy along with a fantastic era of Wycombe players, and it kind of reminded me of the excitement of that and how we're going to be a few years away from producing our own, but the process is starting again. So the next Josh Scowen is out there already somewhere. He might be at school, but the next Josh Scowen is only round the corner, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, we'll still be around to see him.
Well, hopefully, indeed. We talked to him about his goal scoring as well, because we love the Josh Scowen parts of the game where, the tackles, and we call him the mop sometimes, don't we, the cleaning up. But when he does score, they tend to be quite special, and we've given him a challenge of trying to get more than his customary 1 or 2 this season. He's a bit further forward this season.
I was going to say he's playing further forward. I mean, and he actually didn't he have one chance last night, and against Cambridge as well. He sort of got reasonably far forward. So yeah, I reckon he's going to beat that record this season.
I think sometimes
but it's not the goal scoring. It is that that gets on quietly with it. It's, I don't know whether it's like a Brian Robson of old type of player or something like that, just no fuss, but gives it 100% every time.
Well, we've got Bristol Rovers this Saturday, and this will be broadcast after that ahead of the Barnsley game. So I'm backing him to score on either Saturday or Tuesday, just because it's one of those things. If we talk about it enough, it will happen, right?
I'll send you a message when it does.
Yeah, we'll claim the assist, okay, when it does
absolutely.
come through.
Yeah. Phil and Gary assist.
Right then, on to something borrowed. Though this is either your favourite loanee the club's ever signed, or a player that you wish we'd signed but never did.
Well, I mean, Jude Bellingham or Kaya Saka, easy ones. In terms of players that we signed, look, aren't we lucky that we have a pretty good history of loanees and doing a good job with them, and giving back to their parent club, almost like ready to slot into playing much higher level football. So whether it's like Freddie Potts or Nigel Lonvick last season, I think we got 3 great loanees sort of regularly starting for us this season. Obviously, everybody will talks about Eze and so on, but when I was a player, sort of long before these things were too tight on me, I was a centre half. So Alfie Mawson, I just thought was outstanding.
Yeah,
brilliant as a loanee. But I'm going to throw another one in there, and he was only a loanee for a month or 2. But wasn't Gareth Ainsworth a loanee before he joined us?
He was
from QPR, and didn't that turn out to probably be the best acquisition this club has ever had?
Absolutely, you're right. It started as a loan from Queen's Park Rangers, and
there you go. I'm going to give you a definitive answer to that. Gareth Ainsworth.
And who would have known, Gareth Ainsworth, when he pulled on the quarters for the first time, the impact that man would have on one club? Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not talking about during his time on loan, because it was only such a tiny little sort of window that he was on loan with us. I mean, obviously he was great when he came as a player, but it's just the impact that he ended up having.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about him as a player, because obviously his managerial record with us eclipses sort of everything and dominates conversations normally. But I loved him as a player, and every club that he played for, the fans absolutely adored him, and it's because of the style of it, because it was all action, all effort. The hair flowing behind him as he ran down the wing. Some great goals as well. But yeah, as a player, he was just brilliant to watch. Even though he was very much in the autumn of his career, wasn't he? But
they say things get better with age. Same could be said for Gareth Ainsworth, still going strong at the ripe old age of 37. And the Wycombe skipper will remember this game for a while. The veteran thundering his team into the lead at Burton with the 100th goal of his professional career.
When he was with us, no. I mean, if you saw him like playing for Preston in the which actually, contra to my best moment as a Wycombe Wanderers fan, was probably my lowest moment as a Wycombe Wanderers fan, because I was on a long pre-booked holiday.
Oh no!
For that playoff final against Preston, so I missed it. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely gutted about it.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, we've mentioned this a few times before in the podcast, but the photo of the teams walking out of the tunnel at the old Wembley against Preston, Martin O'Neill, there's David Moyes there, and on the shoulder of Martin O'Neill, the young Gareth Ainsworth with the short hair, and that little snapshot I love, because 2 guys together. I mean, we're talking about managerial greats in the club's history. And wonderful. And of course, the Wimbledon FA Cup game, he scored in that, played in that too. But football's on those funny things. Who'd have thought a lad from Blackburn would have had such an amazing effect? And thank God for the loan window, Gary, because he may never have walked through the doors at Adams Park.
Yeah. And again, we sort of seem to have this ability to pick gems, don't we?
Absolutely, and the culture that he instigated into the club as well. Even that started, I think, when he was a player too. That's a fantastic choice, and I look forward to finding some nice clips of Gareth running down the wing with his hair running behind him. Right, let's go on to something blue. So this is we'll do both, I think, today. Your favourite ever piece of club merchandise, and if you've got one, an idea that we should be selling in the club shop.
Okay, look, I love the shirts. I mean, this season I love, or last season it came in the green and white stripe because it just took us back to. So I'm going to go and
Go and get it. Yeah, look at these shirts.
It took us back to an important time in our history, you know. So I've got the green and white, but this is
the original,
from the '91 season.
Yeah.
You know, so I just like the bringing back kits that remember an important time in our history. So, for example, you know, this is the 93. So this is the 93 season. This was the all-conquering, double-winning, you know, promotion to the Football League, FA Trophy season. You know, let's have a go with it. Look at those sleeves. They're gorgeous.
Fantastic,
you know?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the retro shirt market is huge because obviously, like, we've got a lot of younger fans now, and they'll, because of the era we were in, it's really well documented. You can go on YouTube, you can go on Wanderers TV, and all of these memories are there for you to discover. If you're a 15-year-old now, you could watch the double winning season and relive it. And then you think, well, I want to buy that. I want to wear that shirt. So I think the retro shirt market, I think, is huge to be exploited.
I don't know if you can see that one over the shoulder there, right in the middle.
Yes, a beautiful shirt.
I mean, I love the quarters. I would never suggest that we change out of the quarters, but that's from the old Lokes Park season.
Lovely.
You know, before we changed to the quarters, and that was a super kit as well. I've got to say, I love that kit, but I would never go back on the quarters.
So,
and in terms of what would I like to see, okay, here's absolute pie in the sky dreaming.
This is what we love.
I'm a Lego fan. I love building Lego, and I love building the big models. Now they've sort of in the last few years introduced some famous stadia. So you can get a Lego Old Trafford, but that would never get within 100 yards of my house. So no chance of that. But wouldn't it just be wonderful if one day we were big enough to warrant having a Lego model Adams Park?
Oh, that would be fantastic. I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the Old Trafford one now, and I mean,
don't think too hard.
They'd have to update it to put the leaky roof in. You know,
yeah, I think you can buy some pieces that suggest sort of water dripping.
I think there's a couple of drips that come through the Frank Adams stand, so maybe that could be a feature of the Adams.
Maybe in a day, you know, when we've expanded it to a sort of a 50,000 all-seater, you know, when we're in the Premier League,
and we can have the Lego road that goes out through the car park.
That justifies Lego. Yeah, showing roads coming in and out of the ground. And, maybe parking for 10,000 cars.
Life's
not
better
on a slopey field.
Life's better in Lego world, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's a fantastic idea. I love the idea of a Frank Adams, an Adams Park in Lego, and I'd imagine it wouldn't just be kids building this Lego either.
No. Well, I mean, I started buying Lego for Sammy, and he's not so bothered about it now. He's more interested in his electronics, and I spend hours building the stuff. Love it.
Fantastic. So just to go back to your location, then, so you're now supporting from afar. How's that? Because obviously you're steeped in Wycombe history. You're from the area. Now you're a bit detached over in Jordan. So is this your connection to home?
Apart from family that we get back to see every now and then, yeah, you know, I mean, in terms of watching the Wycombe games, I probably watch more now than I ever have done. Apart from when I was a season ticket for many, many years, both at Lokes Park and at Adams Park. So yeah, you know, very much relying upon WWTV to keep me in touch. I must admit that last night I appreciated you so much more, Phil, because I was watching it on Sky and listening to the commentary on Sky, and it makes you just realise how lucky we are to have you and all your brilliant co-commentators.
That's very kind, thank you.
But you know, we get back last season. I think I saw 4 games. on various trips back. So I always manage to get a game in whenever I'm back, if it's during the season.
And it was great to me because you popped up to the gantry and gave me some wonderful chocolate.
And that's right. Well, next time, you can hold me to this. Next time I'm back, I will be coming armed with a box of Jordanian sweets for you.
Oh, wonderful! The snacks are getting out of hand. Which, I mean, I'm not discouraging it. It's great. Last night we were visited a few times, and it's resembling a sort of a massive tuck shop up the back now. Even the guys from Sky were sort of jealously looking down towards the Wanderers TV end of the gantry, thinking, "Who are these guys getting all the sweets?"
Or maybe you can sort of set up a little business on the side, Phil.
Maybe, yeah. I could start selling stuff to Alan Smith at Sky. That'd be good. I'm going to bring that in, definitely.
But no, a big box of Arabic sweets is yours next time I'm back.
Wonderful. And I've got visions of you now sort of walking around a man in your Wycombe shirt. And I may be wrong, but I'm guessing there's not many Wycombe shirts walking around, Jordan.
There aren't, but I mean, we're getting the word around. I mean, there's quite a big British expat community here. So I've got mates who are Leeds, Charlton supporters. Charlton's always a good one. Actually, one of Sammy's teachers, he's no longer at the school, but he was a mad Sunderland supporter.
Wonderful.
These were the days of, Darius Charles and It's Our House. Victory. So we had great fun sort of going into the school after that win. Plenty of people have heard of them, and actually a couple of Sammy's buddies, when they've been back in the UK sort of same time as us, we brought them down. In fact, you met one of his friends when we were there in October.
Brilliant. I love the fact that Darius Charles is a throwaway comment in an interview, has travelled the world. As you walk through the tunnel at Adams Park, this is our house. People in classrooms in Amman are talking about Darius Charles. It's like, that's what's great about these things, isn't it?
Yeah. No, and it's just, I mean, it's everybody that has come with me, or whether it's Sammy, Amani, or friends of ours, or whatever, all left with the same sort of message. It's just such a nice feeling around the club. When we were back in Wembley for the final, we bumped into some of the players in the supermarket opposite the hotel that we were staying in, and they're just all happy to have a chat. We bumped into Matt Bloomfield in the bar of the hotel. More than happy to stop and chat and have photos and stuff. It's just a lovely feeling all around the club. And doing stuff like this, to me, it's invaluable to that.
Brilliant. Well, Gary, it's been great to have you on to share your memories, and I look forward to seeing you back at Adams Park, not just because of the sweets. It'd be good to see you.
Look forward to it, Phil. Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed it.
Right, that's it for this week's show. Many thanks for tuning in, and big thanks to Gary in Jordan as well for his time and sharing his memories with us. We'll be back next week with news of the game against Crawley Town at Adams Park. In the meantime, come on you Blues.